Good day, I am Christian De La Peña from Base HM4A. Today we'll discuss about the topic chapter 1, which is the development of our business culture. The development of business culture has been a dynamic and multifaceted journey shaped by historical, economic, technological, and societal factors. From the earliest days of barter to the interconnected global economy of today, business culture has evolved significantly. So, in the early trade and barter, in ancient times, individuals exchanged goods and services directly through a barter. This simple system laid the foundation of understanding value and mutual benefit, forming the basis of early business interactions. So, in the ancient world, the practice of early trade and barter emerged as fundamental system for exchanging goods and services. Individuals without formal currency engage in a direct exchanges where the value of goods was determined through negotiation. So this uncomplicated yet essential practice established the very essence of business interaction. Understanding value and seeking mutual benefit. Barter not only facilitated the exchange goods but also fostered communication skills, trust building, and the recognition of the interdependence that underpins successful trade. This system sets the stage of the evolution of more intricate economic structure and marketplace, shaping the core principles of business culture that persist today. The business in the Philippines and in the other countries of the free world is basically capitalistic in nature. So this means that society entrusts the workings of the business process to the guidance of the private businessman. So business is capitalistic if we have first private ownership of non-personal means of production. So it refers to a situation where individuals or entities own and control productive assets that are used to produce goods and services. But these assets are not directly tied to personal use or consumption. And in other words, it involves the ownership of resources like factories, machinery, land, and other capital goods that are used to generate wealth through production. And also, in this concept is often associated with capitalism, where private individuals or corporations own and manage the means of production with the aim of generating profits. It stands in contrast to systems like socialism or communism, where the means of production are owned collectively by society or that state. And second, production for private account. This means that private initiative gives rise to production essentials for private profit. The earnings from business go to private individuals or groups. And the third is voluntary savings and the institution of bank credit. And in every economy, certain basic functions have to accomplish the determination of what, how much, for whom to produce the allocation of the goods and services, produce further growth of the economy, the distribution of economy's benefits, and maintenance of relation with other countries. Um, Business had to wait for the influence of the commercial revolution, the industrial revolution, and the laissez-faire theory before it burst, full-grown and proliferated into its present, essentially free or private enterprise nature. For the business student who engage in the study of a basic subject like business organization, or it's even more essential to have a clear background or just what the term business means. So, how business had to wait for the influence of the commercial revolution, the industrial revolution, and the laissez-faire theory to shape their development and operation. So, the influence of the commercial revolution, the industrial revolution, and the laissez-faire theory collectively transformed the landscape of business economics. So, the commercial revolution laid the groundwork for global trade, And the Industrial Revolution revolutionized production methods, and the laissez-faire theory promoted an environment conducive and entrepreneurial growth. So these historical developments shaped the foundation upon which modern business practices and economic system are built. For instance, it may be asked, is every money-making enterprise a business? If this is so, what about gambling? What about an enterprise that loses money? Is that a business? What about the farmers? Is he in a business? What about those in the medical professions? And what is the difference between a man who works for another and a man who doesn't the same work for himself? So, okay, let's try to understand in this case. So, Miss Cruz and Miss Reyes, who are stenographers of the same ability, both using the same system of shorthand and the same make of office machine, a typewriter. So, Miss Cruz is a secretary of Mr. Roldan. We will known invest and we will known as investment banker. So, and Miss Reyes, however, is a secretary of a clergyman. A clergyman is a pare. So, their job is functionally the same. So, pareho silang job, pareho silang the same sila nga stenographer. So, yet, it could be said that one of them is in business and the other is not. So, ang pasabot ani is, si Miss Cruz, na-involve siya og business tungod sa iyang job, which is secretary siya sa usa ka investor nga si Mr. Roldan. And si Miss Reyes, usag pareha sila job, the same sila job ni Miss Cruz. It's because ang nakalahi lang is ang na-under siya sa usa ka pare, which is ang pare is never jud siya ma-involve og business. Never jud nimo nga nakita nga na-involve ang business ang pare. So there is probably no fine drawn dividing the line between business and non-business. Obviously, merchant is a businessman while a clergyman is not. So that's the clear answer. So, and also business can broadly categorize into three main sectors. First is commerce, second is industry, and lastly the services. So these three categories encompass various types of businesses based on their primary activities and focus. So let's talk about the commerce businesses. Commerce businesses refers to the activity of buying and selling goods and services. Commerce businesses are involved in the distribution, trade, and exchange of product between producers and consumers. This sector includes businesses that facilitate the movement of goods from manufacturer to end consumers. So the example of commerce businesses is mga retail store, wholesalers, distributors, import and export companies, and lastly, auctions houses. So, and also, let's talk about the industry businesses. So, industry businesses involves the production of goods through manufacturing, processing, or construction. Industry businesses are engaging in transforming raw materials into finished products. So this sector encompasses businesses that create tangible goods that are then distributed and sold through commerce channels. So the example of industry businesses is mga manufacturing plants, mga automobile, electronics, and textiles, constructions companies, mining and extraction businesses, and also mga food processing and packaging companies. So that's all for industry businesses. So, and also lastly, the service businesses. So service businesses offer intangible services to customers rather than physical products. These businesses provide expertise, skills, and as assistance to meet various needs and requirements of clients. So the service sector plays a significant role in a modern economy. So one of the example of service businesses is like healthcare provider, mga hospitals, clinic, and also education institutions, mga schools, universities, and especially mga restaurants and cafes, and also the transportation services. That's all for the chapter 1 for my reporting, and thank you and God bless.